Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for being here. Before I begin, I just want to um, seek forgiveness for being late. Thank you. There were some challenges which we had no control over. The demigod showed why they're superior. We had some plan of reaching Austin by 4:40, and interestingly, it was a one stop. So from Seattle, it was one stop to San Diego, and from San Diego to Austin. And up until San Diego, the flight was pretty much on time. And then the flight was to depart at 11:20 San Diego time. And we got into the plane at 11:20. And then after getting into the plane, because we started the day pretty early, so we were really sleepy. So we went inside, we put the bags in the overhead bin, and both of us, we just went on to sleep. And after about 1 hour, we saw the clock. It was about 12:30. And when we entered the flight, the windows were all closed. So at 12:30, after 1 hour, we turned the window up, and we thought, oh, we would have reached 1 hour to some other destination. We would have gone to some place. We just wanted to see where we are, and then we see we're still at the same place. The flight had not moved, and I looked at her and said, "Is this the right flight?" Just like Brahmaji got bewildered. So we are in that Brahma Madhva Gaudiya. Our Acharya also gets bewildered. Now I'm just reminded that in 2004, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he took devotees for a Vrindavan Yatra. And in that place, every day they were going to different places. So they decided that on this one particular day, they will go to this so and so place. And they got onto the bus, and there were 14 buses. And Maharaj was in the first bus, and then there were remaining 13 buses. And everyone was following the first bus. And interestingly, the person who was driving the first bus, he took a wrong turn. Evam parampara praptam. Everyone followed the wrong turn. And they all reached a place. And interestingly, they were supposed to go to a place called as Chaumuha. Chau means four and Mu means face. So it is the place where Brahma Vimon Leela occurred, Chaumuha. And all of them reached some other place. And Maharaj got down and he looked around and said, "This doesn't look like Chaumuha." And then Maharaj chuckled and he said, "Brahma himself got bewildered. So if we have to see the place where he got bewildered first, we have to get bewildered to see that place." So after 1 hour, we just lifted the window and we were still at the same place. And then eventually, due to Alaska Airlines having their own plan, so we ended up reaching the house of Radha Vinod Prabhu at 6:30. And then we had to rush our way. Interestingly, when we reached Austin Airport, it was about 5:15, 5:20, somewhere around that time. And His Grace Keshav Pani Prabhu came to pick us up. And believe me or not, it was a 1 hour journey because we hit real traffic. And he drove almost like an F1 car. It showed more than an hour and zoom, 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 zoom. He took this turn, that turn, this turn, and somehow he got us. So if both of us are here, I think some due credit also goes to Keshav Pani Prabhu's amazing driving. I don't see him here, but thank you to all the devotees being present here. My heartfelt gratitude to His Grace Satyasara Prabhu and Jai Subhadra Mataji for very kindly having Subiksha and myself. All these visits, I was always one. Now it has become 1+1. So thank you so much for having us in your very humble, divine abode at the lotus feet of Śrī Rādhā Sham. That's the name, Śrī Rādhā Sham. Śrī Rādhā Krishna. Śrī Rādhā Krishna ki. Radharani looks very beautiful with that purse. Wonderful. When we were entering here, the decorations outside were so amazing. It was so beautiful. Like anyone who's just passing through this area also would be inspired to just stop by and see what's going on here. What's the decoration all about? So to the devotees who are or who are engaged in this decoration, my heartfelt appreciation. Thank you so much for decorating our ISKCON, and thank you so much for decorating our center. I will not say your center, but I think it is my center also. So it is our center. We see today is the 14th of October. And from a Vaishnava calendar standpoint, it is very glorious and very auspicious because it is called as Teen Goswami disappearance. It is the disappearance of Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, disappearance of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pad, and the disappearance of Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So in Vrindavan, they say Teen Goswami disappearance. Of course, all three didn't depart on the same day, but departed on different tithis, which aligned the same. We are very familiar with the life, history, pastimes, the contributions of these three personalities. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami for his magnum opus, the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami being the Prayojan Acharya. For 45 years, Raghunath Das Goswami cried on the banks of Radhakund. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say that we have to cry for Krishna. And then one disciple asked, Gurudev, but what if he cannot cry? And Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj said, cry that you cannot cry for Krishna. Start from somewhere. Even if it is crocodile tears, they say. Start from somewhere, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say. So Raghunath Das Goswami, who's already so exalted, for 45 years on the banks of Radhakund, he cried for the Supreme Lord. And then we have Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was known for his attachment to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami would chant in 6 different melodies. Most often we find that we face a big challenge as far as memorizing verses are concerned. And oftentimes we memorize and it is in one particular melody. The moment the melody is changed, we forget the lyrics. Right? So the lyrics has to be right, the melody has to be right. Then hopefully the verse also comes out. But even if you remember, we may chant probably in one melody, maybe 2 melodies, maximum with 3 melodies. Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami would chant in 6 different melodies, every single verse. Very, very attached to Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, when I went last year to Varanasi, the place is still there where Raghunath Bhatta Goswami grew up. The son of Tapan Mishra. Tapan Mishra's son, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Interestingly, the place I was in New Jersey before moving to Seattle. I was doing a master's there. And it was a very interesting place, or the area where I was located was pretty interesting for the fact that the street I was in, the name of the street was Tappan Street. Tappan. You can look it up online, Tappan Street. It's almost like Tapan Mishra. And the area or the city was called Karni. In Venugit, this word is used, Karnayoho Karnikaram. Krishna in Vrindavan wears a flower on his ear, which is called a Karnikara flower. So the place was Karni, the street was Tappan. It was like a mixture of Krishna Leela, Gaur Leela, everything. I don't know how I came there, but somehow Krishna just brought me to that place. So we find we offer our obeisances to these 3 wonderful personalities who departed this world on this day and contributed so much to the path of Krishna consciousness. Of course, given a choice, we will glorify them, but because we are approaching the month of Kārtika, I thought it will be worthwhile to spend some time systematically going through a few topics from tomorrow onwards up until Saturday. But today, primarily, I thought we will discuss about the glories of the month of Kartik. What are the things that we can do on this month? What are things that we can refrain from? And how to best practice this month of Kartik. So, if we are inspired, if we want to write down, that will be ideal because our memory is very volatile, especially the do's and don'ts of Kartik. We hear today, and by the time we step outside, the evaporation has started. But if it's there in a book, we can refer, and for all 30 days, we can remind ourselves that these are things that I am supposed to do or I should be doing, and these are things that I can refrain from. So, this is how we will direct our discussion for today. Primarily, the month of Kartik, what it means, why it is glorious, and what are things that we can do. Does that sound okay? Srimad Bhagavatam, we see in Canto 10, chapter 52, we have the episode of Rukmini, very famous personality, Rukmini. And there, Rukmini is chanting a verse glorifying the Supreme Lord. And primarily, she glorifies the Lord in the context of Harikatha. Because Rukmini had not seen Krishna. Rukmini is probably the first person who wrote a transcendental love letter to Krishna. In this world, people are fascinated. Love letter. Of course, now technology has emerged so much. Chat GPT and AI and name it. But back in those days, they would write letters. I remember my parents also. My father was living in Saudi Arabia. Of course, so was my mother. But when my brother was born, at that time, my mother had come back to India. So when my father was living in Saudi, in Riyadh, my mother would write a letter, a normal letter, not a love letter, a normal letter. She would write a letter, and eventually, by the time it would reach my father, it would be like another 20, 25 days. And then he would write a letter. Then it comes back after another 20, 25 days. By the time the letter comes here and the person reads, the dynamics has changed. And then you again write a letter because early 90s, we didn't have cell phones. It was still the old traditional way. Of course, now the youth are pretty much acquainted and they're grown up with phones. I remember when I was small, I got my first phone when I was 18. Yeah, around 18. And for that also, at the age of 18 to get a phone, I had to literally beg my father. I had to become Sudama. Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. And then eventually, when he showered mercy, no, I got a phone. But nowadays we find by the time a child is maybe 6, 7, 8, everyone has a phone, and it's not just a normal phone, it's an iPhone. It's an iPhone 13, iPhone 14, iPhone 15, iPhone 16. Don't ask me what the difference is between iPhone 16 and 15. It exactly looks the same. The functionalities are probably the same. But back in those days when Rukmini was there was no technology. There was no WhatsApp, none of these social media. So she would write later. And she heard about Krishna from Narada Muni. Narada Muni being the transcendental spaceman, going from one place to another place. He would go and he would speak about Krishna. In the Indian daily soaps we see, Narad Muni is shown as a very different character. You see the Indian daily soaps, Hotstar and all those things. Narad Muni, they show as someone who speaks from here to there. Chugli karte hai. Right? Narad Muni is shown like that. But in reality, Narad Muni is someone who goes from one place to another, glorifying Krishna. Narada Muni, Bajay Veena, Radhika Ramana Name. He goes around from place to place playing the Veena. And what does he sing? Radhika Ramana Name. Glories of Radha Raman. The names of Radha Raman. So Narad Muni came to Rukmini and was speaking about Krishna as to how Krishna was only 7 days or 6 days when Putana came. And then at the age of 7, he lifted the Giriraj Govardhan. And how he danced on the hoods of Kalia. How he killed Shakatasur, Trinavarta, Agasur, Bakasur, Keshi, Vyomasur. He was speaking about the strength of Krishna. And parallelly, he was also speaking about the beauty of Krishna. How beautiful Krishna is. And as Rukmini was hearing, she was enamored completely by the beauty of Krishna. She had not seen Krishna. But just hearing about Krishna, she lost her heart. So oftentimes we have this question, Prabhu, I have not seen Krishna. If I had seen Krishna, then I will do bhakti. And I have not seen Krishna, Prabhu. This is not correct. You are asking me to chant about someone whom I have not seen. You are asking me to do bhakti about someone whom I have not seen. If you show me the person, then maybe then some interest will rise. But look at Rukmini. She had also not seen Krishna, but she had heard about Krishna. Just like we are given the opportunity to hear about Krishna. And just by hearing about Krishna from Narada Muni, she decided to give her life to Krishna. So there in the 10th canto, Rukmini glorifies Krishna and glorifies Hari Katha primarily by saying, please kindly repeat, Brahman Krishna Katha Punya Madhvi Loka Malapaha Konu Tripyeta Shrunvanam Shrutagya Nityanutana. Very beautifully, Rukmini is saying, Brahman Krishna Katha Punya. The first quality of Krishna Katha is Punya. Punya means pure. This Krishna Katha is very pure. And those who come in this contact, this current of Krishna Katha, for sure they will also become pure. But the condition is, you see, generally when you go for buying any insurance, they will give all big details. And then down below there will be terms and condition. So small that you cannot read. LIC. जीवन के साथ भी जीवन के बाद भी something like that, right? But they have a nice quote, Yogakshemam Bahamyam, LIC policy. So Krishna Katha is pure. Anyone who comes in this current, this wave of Krishna Katha will also become pure. But there is a condition. Terms and conditions apply. What is the terms and condition for hearing Krishna Katha? First, do not sleep. Big terms and condition. When I was in Seattle, I'm still in Seattle, of course. How many Telugus here, by the way? United States of? See, when we are talking about Krishna Katha, everyone is moment Telugu, Romancha Kampa, Shrutaranga Baju. Oh, excitement. So in some place I was saying this. It was in Seattle only when we were discussing the overview of Srimad Bhagavatam. So there is one devotee. Apparently he is my Telugu guru, I say. Sridhar Gopal Prabhu. So I am sometimes when I want to learn some Telugu, because America is filled with so many Telugus. So I told him, can you teach me some little Telugu? So I was saying this point in one class that Krishna Katha has to be pure and we should not sleep. And then he told me the same thing if I have to say in Telugu, how it will be. దయచేసి క్లాస్ మధ్యలో నిద్రపోవద్దు. That's the first quality, first characteristic, that Krishna Katha is pure. But for that purity to act, first terms and condition is I should be awake. I should be open. But yes, Brahma is our Acharya, but in this we don't follow Brahma. His eyes are always closed. Not always, but most times whenever we see his photographs, he has 4 heads and 8 eyes and all are closed. But this Krishna Katha is such, if the desire for purity is there, then Krishna Katha will act. It will still act. Regardless, it will still act. But intention matters. If the intention is to be purified, Krishna Katha will work fast. But if the intention is to cross question, the intention is to argue, if the intention is any of those things, Krishna Katha will still work, but it will take some time. What is the example? You see in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have a personality by the name Devananda Pandit. And Sri Devananda Pandit, keeping it very short, because I feel tempted to speak, but unfortunately the clock is not allowing me. We go till 9 o'clock, Prabhuji? We'll go till 9, if that's okay. It's okay? No? We started late. Tomorrow, I promise we will start on time. Today, unfortunately, due to whatever reason. Sri Devananda Pandit from Mahaprabhu's pastimes was a big time scholar. When he would speak Bhagavatam, thousands would be in the assembly. It was like a packed house, full house. And as Devananda Pandit would speak, one time Shrivas got to know, Shrivas Thakur. And Shrivas Thakur came and he sat at the back and he was hearing to Devananda Pandit speak. And as Shrivas Thakur was hearing Hari Katha, tears just started flowing from the eyes of Shrivas. They started flowing from the eyes of Shrivas to the extent it initially started with tears. He started weeping, he started crying, he started sobbing. And as he started sobbing, the other devotees who had come there to hear Hari Katha, they saw it as a distraction. Hey, we are coming to hear this person is crying. He is not allowing us to pay attention properly. And they picked up Shrivas and manhandled Shrivas and they threw him out of the Katha Pandal. Why? Because he was crying. Why? Because he was sobbing and apparently it was a distraction for other people. Please do not try it in your congregation. Even if someone is crying, let's respect their tears. Shrivas was thrown out and Shrivas didn't retaliate. He just got up and he left. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got to know. And interestingly, this pastime occurred before Mahaprabhu's appearance. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world, he almost came with a vengeance. He almost came with a revenge. That this Devananda Pandit, I will give my mercy to everyone except Devananda Pandit. Why? Because my devotee was not respected, Shrivas. And Devananda Pandit would speak, but his heart would be devoid. His heart would be devoid of any bhakti. And eventually, as he got to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't even want to talk to him, doesn't even want to look at him, he understood there is something wrong he has done. And upon introspection, he got to know that it was his offense towards Srivas. And for the Supreme Lord, his devotee is very dear. Mad bhaktya pujya vidikam. Krishna says the worship of my devotee is superior to my worship. Here, Srivas was offended. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like it. And eventually, the only prayaschitta for Devananda Pandit was to go to Vakreshwar Pandit, another associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To go to Vakreshwar Pandit and be under his company and become the recipient of his mercy. And then eventually maybe you will get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Devananda Pandit goes to Vakreshwar Pandit. And as Vakreshwar Pandit would dance, Vakreshwar Pandit was a very good dancer. And as he would dance, our Devananda Pandit would take the dust from the lotus feet of Vakreshwar Pandit and smear it on his head. And by doing it repeatedly, his heart got cleansed and purified. And then he got Mahaprabhu's mercy. The point that we are trying to make is one may be very scholarly, like Devananda Pandit. One may know a lot of verses, maybe speaking Shastra and may be giving classes, etc., etc., etc. But if devotees are not respected, then the Lord doesn't look at us. So for Devananda Pandit, he knew Shastra, but purity came after a very long time. First, he had to be purified by Vakreshwar Pandit, And then he got Mahaprabhu's mercy. So first, Brahman Krishna Katha Punya. This Katha is pure. This Hari Katha is pure, provided the intention of speaking and hearing is to be purified. If the desire is how many people will listen, how many people will clap, and how many people will say, Prabhuji, wonderful class. If this is the intention and desire, Katha, Hari Katha will still act, but the purification will take longer time. The first quality of Katha is Punya. It is pure. Brahman Krishna Katha, Punya. The second quality of Hari Katha is Madhvi. It is sweet. Krishna Katha is indeed very sweet. What is the proof? Every year, it is the same Kārtika we celebrate. Same Deepdan, same Damodarashtakam, same Yashoda Damodar photo or deity, same climax, same two-finger tour shot. Everything is same. Still, when Kartik is approaching, we are excited. Lights will be dim. Ghee lamp will be there. Nice Damodarashtakam will be there. We know what's coming up because we have been doing it for years. Storyline also we know. Everything we know, but still we are excited. Why? Because Krishna Katha has a quality, it is sweet. For example, Gulab Jamun. ISKCON means example has to be some prasadam only. Gulab Jamun taste we know, right? All of us have had. But still, even after repeatedly having it, still if it is placed in front of us, I've seen sometimes in some places, when prasadam plate is kept, especially when sweets are kept, Gulab Jamun, Rasgulla, Rasmalai, so many others, it is so exciting and it is so attractive to the eyes that devotees forget Mahaprasade also. वो बाद में बोल लेंगे प्रभु जी पहला let's pounce. So gulab jamun taste we know, but still if it is kept in front of us, still we want to have it. Why? Because it's sweet. So Krishna Katha is like this. We know Purushottama, everything, but still we look forward for it. So that's the second quality. What was the first one? Punya. Punya means pure. What was the second? Madhvi means salty. Sweet. And third, Loka Malapaha. What is the third one? The third quality of Harikatha is Krishna as Harikatha. He steals the impurities, the contamination that is there in the heart. Krishna jumps into the heart in the form of Harikatha and he goes inside and starts the Chetodarpana Marjanam. Like in India, you have Harpik, right? Lysol. What are the ones in America? Lysol only? Clorox? That is Clorox, right? No? Clorox. Huh. Lysol. Huh. This is not my department. She would know better. I just know the names. So we find these are primarily for cleaning. But for bhakti, it is Harikatha. It is hearing about Krishna. See, Prahlad Maharaj, he puts Shravanam the first. Then Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. But he starts with Shravanam, hearing. He, when he was there in the womb of his mother Kayadu, he also heard extensively from Shripad Narada Muni. Right? So, Lokamalapaha, Krishna enters through our ear and cleanses the heart and makes the heart completely pure. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. And Krishna is expert in stealing. He's expert in jumping. He's very expert in jumping into the heart. He demonstrated that by jumping on the hoods of Kaliya. He is PhD in stealing. There is no one better than him as far as stealing is concerned. Our Lord is such. He is expert in speaking Gita. And in Vrindavan, he will steal, he will lie, he will cheat, he will eat dirt. And then in Gita, he will say, behave properly. Very unique Lord we worship. बोलते टेढ़े हैं, देखते टेढ़े हैं, खड़े टेढ़े हैं, और हमें बोलते सीधा रहो. That is why in Vrindavan is called Shri Bake Bihari Lal Ki. He's Bake. Bake means teda. But Like in Hindi, they say, Teda hai par mera hai. My dear Lord, you may be Teda, but still you're mine. So Krishna is expert in stealing. One time in the land of Sri Vrindavan Dham, Krishna would go to different houses and he would steal. And Krishna has this track record of stealing and lying after stealing. It's very interesting that when Krishna would go in when one class many years back, I was hearing, how does Krishna plan his stealing? In one seminar, his own as Ramapad Swami Maharaj was saying, it was very interesting when I heard it. He said that Krishna, every day early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta, Krishna goes to different houses and he scans the house. And which house he wants to steal, outside the house, he will put a cross. So, marked. So, his friends are sleeping during early morning. But when the friends get up and they go around, they see this house has a cross. Krishna has targeted this house for today. And that's how they would go. And then inside, Krishna would go and he would start stealing. And then Maharaj made an interesting point. He said, Krishna steals butter. Why? Because butter is white and it is soft. So that day, when because of chanting, our heart becomes white and soft like butter, Krishna will also mark our heart with the cross and he will come and steal it away. Interesting, right? Very sweet. But then Maharaj said, but terms and conditions apply. When does Krishna do it? He does it in Brahma Muhurta. Which means those who are up in Brahma Muhurta chanting his names, then Krishna will come and put a cross and then he will steal. But if during morning time someone is in Mahavishnu pastime, then Krishna will say, you stay there only. I will pick some other heart. So Maharaj was saying, this is why Krishna likes butter. Externally, it's butter, but philosophically, butter is white and it is soft. And the aim of bhakti is to transform our heart like the butter, soft like butter and white like butter. So, Krishna, while at the same time in another class, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was saying, Brahma Muhurta is also the time when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walks around, freely giving Krishna prema to those who are awake. Maharaj said, for those who want to be the recipients of the Lord's mercy, being awake in Brahma Muhurta is important. Why? Because Krishna is also awake to put a cross, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is walking with his associates to see who is awake, and those who are awake, give them Krishna prema. So you have two strong reasons to get up in Kartik and to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Krishna one time, he went to the house of one motherly gopi and he started stealing. His typical fashion. Krishna's stealing is such, the procedure is clearly outlined. There is a standard operating procedure, SOP. All of them know who was to go inside first, who was to stand outside, which monkey's back you have to climb, how you have to bring the pot down, full, clearly outlined. And Krishna was stealing, and this motherly gopi saw. He said, Krishna, what are you doing? Krishna said, no, I'm not stealing. She said, I saw you, you are stealing. Krishna said, no, I'm not stealing. This motherly gopi said, Krishna, why are you lying? I saw you were stealing. Krishna said, actually, I'm not stealing. I'm searching for my cow. Last few days, I'm not finding my cow. I'm searching for my cow. The motherly gopi said, Acha, your cow is there inside a butter pot? Krishna said, yeah, really. The motherly gopi said, Acha, show. You're saying your cow is there inside the butter pot? Show. And Krishna, from inside the butter pot, he removes a small toy, a cow. And Krishna says, look, it was hidden here. And motherly gopi says, wow, from where you learn to steal and lie like this? Mother Yashoda doesn't do it. Nanda Baba doesn't do it. Kahan se? Which parampara are you following? Another time, Krishna was there in one motherly gopi's house. And Krishna was caught stealing. And Krishna said, I am not stealing. Motherly gopi said, Krishna, come on. I clearly saw you were stealing. This is not your house, and this is my butter pot, and you are stealing. Krishna said, no. Actually, it's very hot outside. So I am cooling my hand by putting it inside the butter pot. The motherly gopi said, where do you get such bahana from? Kidhar se leke aate ho? And Krishna smiles. And Krishna runs away. And the friends of Krishna, they say, Krishna, next time you want to do something like this, you do it. Don't put us. Keep us away from this. Many years back, Śrīla Rādhā Swami Maharaj in Chowpatty was giving a class. And it was a Govardhan Puja class. And you remember, and for those who have heard Maharaj, in the early days, Maharaj would give long classes, 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes 6 hours. And after 2 hours, Maharaj would say, Veer Prabhu had just joined Chowpatty. Yes, this is early 90s or mid 90s. So he thought Gurudev will chastise. When Gurudev is giving class, we are eating, maybe he will chastise. And Śrīla Rādhā Maharaj, when he heard that, he responded so calmly. He said, really? How didn't I catch you? You ate in front of me, but I didn't get to know. Wow, like amazing. How did you do it? How did you pull this off? And Bajpayee Prabhu was thinking, oh, seems like Maharaj is very chill about it. He didn't. And Gaurang Prabhu said, Maharaj, sorry, next time we'll not do it. We seek forgiveness. We made a mistake. Brajveri Prabhu inside he was thinking, no, I was not there in the picture. You dragged me to this. And then after that, they were done and they were getting up. And they were at the door. And then Maharaj said, Gauranga Prabhu, these youth have just joined. Make sure next time you don't pull them in your crime. You do what you want. These are new boys. Don't pull them in your crime. Huh? Maharaj knew. Of course, Gauranga Prabhu has that rasa with Maharaj, which only probably he can have. So where were we? Sometimes we just get into story after story and then we forget. Yes, we were with Krishna stealing. So from stealing, I remembered this Batata Vada pastime. So Krishna steals this way. And one time, Krishna was stealing in one motherly gopi's house. And her name was Prabhavati Gopi. What's the name? Prabhavati Gopi. And she caught Krishna. She caught Krishna red-handed. Actually, Rupa Goswami says, Krishna's body is very soft. It is so soft that if a leaf falls on Krishna's body, it has an imprint. Krishna's body has an imprint. If a leaf falls, that is how soft his body is. How soft is Radharani's body? For that, you have to come tomorrow. Cliffhanger. Because tomorrow, we are going to discuss some really amazing pastimes of Radharani. And the whole class is just going to be pastimes. No philosophy, just pastimes of Radharani, and very sweet from different commentators. So Krishna was caught red-handed by this Prabhavati Gopi. And she said, Krishna, you have been stealing for such a long time. Today I will take you to Mother Yashoda. And she took Krishna to Mother Yashoda. And she said, Mother Yashoda, look what your Krishna is doing. He's stealing. And Mother Yashoda came outside and she said, really? I don't know why Krishna would do it. We have 9,99,999 cows. And we have Padma Gandha cow, and I can make the best butter. I don't know from where he's got this habit of stealing and why would he even do it. And then Prabhavati Gopi, from behind, she brought Krishna and said, look, your son, he steals so much. And Mother Yashoda looked and she started laughing. Prabhavati Gopi said, why are you laughing? Mother Yashoda said, look whom you have brought. It is your son. Somehow there is some ghost that has entered everyone's mind. Everyone is catching my Krishna only. I know my Krishna is not like this. Mother's love. Whatever the child will do, mother will hide. The father is not like this. Right? The fathers may resonate. The fathers are ye yatha mam prapadyante. You do good, I will reciprocate good. You do bad, you will get nice. Nice Mahaprasadam. Mother's love is you do whatever you want, she will love. Srila Prabhupada would say, as strict as a British officer and as soft as a Bengali mother. Prabhupada would say, a mother, not just a Bengali mother, but a mother's heart is very soft. Whatever the child will do, mother will say, "Theek hai. Don't do it next time." So Mother Yashoda said, look, it's your child, it's not my child. And Prabhavati Gopi looked and said, hey, where did you come from? And then Prabhavati Gopi, taking her child, was going out, and Krishna followed. And Krishna came outside the door and said, the next time you catch me, I will take the form of your husband. Don't you dare. Next time you do it, it will be your husband. This time I forgave you, next time don't do it. And Krishna doesn't say it inside the house because he has the fear of Mother Yashoda. Very smart guy, goes outside and says and comes back. So in front of Mother Yashoda, he is the good boy, but outside, Satyam. So Loka Malapaha, our Krishna is such, he steals the contaminations of the heart. So this month of Kārtik is such that ideally one should be hearing about Krishna as much as possible. This month of Kārtik goes by 3 names. First is called Damodar Mas. Please repeat. This is called Damodar Mas primarily because in the Western calendar we have 12 months. January till December. Just like we have 12 months in the Western calendar, in the Vedic calendar also we have different months. And all these months are named on the names of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. So this month is called as Damodar Mas because the worshipable deity is Śrī Damodar. Also because it is in this month that Yashoda Maya bound Damodar. Dama means rope and Udara means belly. That glorious mother that bound the small baby belly of Krishna. How much is a small child's belly? Krishna, when this pastime occurred, he was just 2.5. 2.5-year-old child, how much will the belly size be? This much. Not more. But still, Svinnam Bhaktram, she was sweating. And she was not able to tie. So because this pastime occurred in the month of Kārtik, primarily on the day of Diwali, this month is called Damodar. It's very interesting. Krishna, he was thinking to himself that in all the 3 ages, my devotee got bound for me. In Satya Yuga, Bali Maharaj was tied for me. In Treta Yuga, Hanuman got tied in Lanka for me. In Kali Yuga, Rupa and Sanatan were put behind bars for me. Krishna thought to himself, in 3 yugas my devotees have been bound for me. Can I not be bound for them at least in 1 yuga? Thinking thus, ye yathamam prapadyante, Krishna thought, I will also get bound by Mother Yashoda. So because this pastime occurred in this month, it is called as Damodar Mas. The second name of this month is called as Kartik Mas, as it goes. It's called as Kartik Mas primarily because Sripad Sanatan Goswami explains, and Srila Gauragovinda Maharaj would quote this in his Kathamrit Bindu magazines. Srila Gauragovinda Maharaj would say, back in those days in Braj, there was this tradition where the daughters were named after the daughters of Prajapati Daksha. The Prajapati Daksha, whatever daughter's name he had given, in Vrindavan there was this custom that any girl child who was born were given that name. So Kirtika is one name of the daughter of Prajapati Daksha. And Kirtika can also be called as Kirtida. She who, Da means Da Yacha, to give. She who gives Kirti to someone else. Yashoda, she who gives Yasha to someone else. And Narada, etc. So Da in Sanskrit means to give. Da Yacha is the root word. So Kirtika or Kirtida, Sripad Sanatan Goswami says, Kirtika's daughter Kartiki or Kartika means she who's born from Kirtika, or she who's the daughter of Kirtika or Kirtida. So Kirtida's daughter is Kartika or Kartiki, who is Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani ki. And because this name is associated with Srimati Radharani, the worshipable deity for this month is also Srimati Radharani. The Arishthatri Devi is Srimati Radharani. And that is why we thought in our discussions from tomorrow onwards, we will be primarily talking about Srimati Radharani. We will talk about different aspects about Srimati Radharani, which primarily we do not discuss much, or either we discuss during Radhashtami or during selected occasions. And because Kartik has a very strong connection to Srimati Radharani, from tomorrow onwards, we will primarily focus our heart, mind, attention, everything towards the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani ki. And the third name for this month is called as Urja Vrat. What is it called? Urja means Shakti, strength. So Urja Vrat, Srimati Radharani has a name called as Urjeshwari. She is the personality who provides strength. Krishna may be balam balavatam chaham kama raga vivarjitam dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshaba. Krishna in Gita may say, well, if someone has strength, Krishna says, I give them strength. Radharani says, really? Krishna, really? You say if someone has strength, you give them strength, really? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, who lifted Giriraj? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, no, Radharani lifted Giriraj. And he gives a detailed purport for that. I will not get into the details because then it may be a Jagran then, all night. But Vishwanath Chakravarti in his Sararthi Darshani, he says Krishna didn't lift Giriraj. Radharani lifted Giriraj. So we will keep that for some other visit as to how Radharani lifted Giriraj. But Radharani says, well, Krishna, you may provide strength to those who have strength, but the strength that you get, who is providing it? Urjeshwari Śrī Rādhā. Radharani provides strength to that Krishna who provides strength to everyone. So this month is called Urja Vrat because Urja means strength. So those who want to perform Vrat and need the strength to complete the Vrat, oftentimes what happens? On the first day of Kartik, we prepare Vrat. 32 rounds chanting. Getting up and Brahma Muhurta. No eating this, no eating that, no prajalpa, no criticizing devotees. 1 week into Kartik, Gaura Premanande. We forget all our Vrat. It's almost like, you see how in India and also I think in America, 1st January, the number of registrations for gym goes up. New Year resolution. By the time it's 15 January, it's the same old people who were there earlier. So Kartik month also we find, initially it's sky high enthusiasm. But 1 week, 2 weeks into it, and then it's like, who knows? Anyway, it's just me inside the house. My family members may know, but okay, in front of the congregation, I will say I'm still doing it. But inside the house, okay, let's be relaxed, Prabhuji. Let's balance it out. Or whatever. So the strength that we need to perform the vrat comes from Radharani. Why? Because she is Urjeshwari. Urja means strength. So if we need strength to complete the vrat, to start the vrat and to complete the vrat, it will come from Urjeshwari, Srimati Radharani ki. So what are the three names? First, Damodar Mas, Kartik Mas, Urja Vrat. Three names. The Lord is actually very kind. For those who perform vrat, the Lord is very kind to reciprocate to the love. Srila Rup Goswami explains, actually in this month of Kartik, there is one very beautiful verse that comes from the Stavamala, and it glorifies Radha Damodar. It's a beautiful verse that can be chanted, memorized every day in this month of Kartik. Please kindly repeat. अंगश्यामलिमा छटाभिरभितो छटाभिरभितो मन्दीकृतेन्दीवरम् जाढ्यं जागुडरोचिषां विदधतम् जागुडरोचिषां विदधतम् पट्टाम्बरस्य श्रिय वृन्दारण्यविलासिनीं हृदि लसत् दामाभिरामोदरम् राधास्कन्दनिवेशितोज्ज्वलभुजम् भुजं ध्यायेन दामोदरम्. I wish I could have shown in a PPT, maybe next time. But I will share this verse to Prabhuji and maybe it can be put in the group. Srila Rup Goswami says, Anga Shyamalima Chhatabirabhito Mandi Kritendi Varam. How is the form of Krishna? Anga, his Anga. Shyamalima, it is bluish black, like a monsoon rain cloud. Anga Shyamalima Chhatabirabhito Mandi Kritendi Varam. And his complexion is such, it puts to shame even a lotus flower. Lotus flower is very beautiful. Like oftentimes in decoration, we use flowers, and lotus flower is like even in flowers, lotus is like Uttamadhikari. Other flowers are Tike, Kanishta Madhyam. Lotus is Uttamadhikari even in flowers. Rose and lotus. Krishna's beauty, Anga Shyamalima Chhatabirabhito Mandi Kritendi Varam. His beauty is so much. Even a lotus flower is put to shame. Jadhyam Jaguda Rochisham Vidadatam Pattambarasya Shriyam. And the cloth that Krishna wears, it's a yellow garment. It's a silken yellow garment. To the extent Rupa Goswami says, it's almost like a lightning. You see when it rains outside and there's lightning? Probably y'all might not know much about lightning. If you want to know what lightning is, what rains are, please come to Seattle. Right, Prabhuji? Seattle Vasis? Austin Vasis don't know what rain is. The rain that you all know is perverted reflection. The real rain is there. Every second day there will be, it's an overcast climate and keeps drizzling. So when there is thunderbolt, it's so powerful that our eyes cannot take it, right? Krishna's garment is like that, Rupa Goswami says. It's yellow, silken, and very strong and powerful like a thunderbolt. Vrinda Ranya Vilasinim Ridilasad Damabhiramodaram. Where does Krishna perform pastimes? Vrindaranyam, in the forest of Vrindavan. Ridhilasad, Damabhiramodaram. And our Krishna, in his heart or on his chest, he has a beautiful Vaijayanti mala. Vaijayanti garland, my Guru Maharaj was saying, it's a garland that comprises 5 flowers. Mandara, Kunda, Parijata, Kamala and Tulasi. When these 5 flowers come together, then it's called Vaijayanti mala. Vaijayanti. Krishna wears that garland in Vrindavan. Why? Why Jayanti? Jayanti means victory. Why Jayanti? Vishesha Rupena Jayanti. That Krishna is victorious. Victorious over different demons. No. Why Jayanti? Krishna is victorious over the hearts of the Brajavasis. Why Jayanti Mala? When you win a competition, you get a trophy. Krishna has won over the heart of the Brajavasis. Where's the trophy? Why Jayanti Mala? Krishna flaunts that in the land of Vrindavan, saying, look, I have won over the heart of the Brajavasis. Radha skanda niveshito jwala bhujam dhyayena damodaram. And our Krishna, he keeps his hand on the shoulder of Radharani. Radha skanda, skanda means shoulder. Radha skanda niveshito jwala bhujam dhyayena damodaram. Rupa Goswami says, let's meditate on that Damodar who keeps his hand on the shoulder of Srimati Radharani, whose body is like a bluish black rain cloud, whose garment is like yellow silken garment that it's almost as powerful and as strong as a thunderbolt, who performs his pastimes in the land of Vrindavan Dham, and who wears a Vaijayanti Mala. To that Radha Damodar, Dhyayena Damodaram, let me meditate. So it's a beautiful verse that we can memorize. Even if we cannot memorize, every day we can see and chant. It will take less than a minute. And by the time Kartik is done, we would have memorized. So for next Kartik, we have a head start. So we are preparing not just for this Kartik, next Kartik also. So Damodarashtakam, yes, that is there. But it's always good to add extra verses also. So Krishna is very interesting. He multitasks, Rupa Goswami says. He will keep his hand on the shoulder of Radharani, while at the same time, especially in the pastime of Keshi, Rupa Goswami says, Krishna killed Keshi, and his one hand was there on the shoulder of Madhumangal, while at the same time, Krishna with his left hand was placing his flower to the right ear, from right ear to left ear, while at the same time, Krishna was composing verses also. Rupa Goswami says, Krishna has a quality of multitasking. He can do different things simultaneously. Devotees also do multitasking, especially while driving car. Left hand will be steering, right hand will be in the bead bag, and tongue will be in some office meeting. Both hands are occupied, tongue is also occupied. I've sometimes seen, maybe not in America because it's automatic transmission. In India, I've seen some devotees, left hand steering wheel, right hand in the mala, and for the right hand changing gear also. Like real talent, real multitasking. And in the same time, they will attend calls. Same time, they will, if children are making noise at the back, they will chastise the children also. Real multitasking. Sometimes devotees can be so multitasking, even Krishna cannot be so much. Dhyayena Damodaram. To that Damodar, we offer obeisances. In the last couple of minutes, Krishna is very kind and Krishna is very reciprocative. When we do these vrats, it is not just as a matter of doing it. It's not just as a matter of formality. We do these vrats so that we can capture and conquer the heart of Krishna. It is only through love that Krishna gets conquered, not through vrats. If we do vrat with the desire that, my dear Lord, I want you, then yes, then it makes sense. But if we are simply putting the stomach to fast with no desire that, my dear Lord, I want you, then it may not be much worthwhile. So the point is, we do the Kartik Vrat, but with this desire that, my dear Lord, you have reciprocated to so many devotees, why don't you reciprocate to me also? I am also doing bhakti. Yes, I am not pure. I am still maybe Kanishta, but my dear Lord, I am trying. Why don't you reciprocate to me? Why don't you speak to me? Why don't you give me some indication that you are there for me? His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu was saying something very interesting. The transcendental twins of ISKCON, Jananivas and Pankajangri Prabhu. So His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu was saying, one time he was there in Radha Madhav altar. And as he was there in Radha Madhav altar, there is one shaligram that they worship. And this shaligram was not to be seen in the altar. So he thought to himself, where did the shaligram go? Radha Madhav altar, shaligram is not there. He started searching. Shaligrams are not to be seen. One shaligram, not to be seen. He started checking the drawers. Shaligram is not to be seen. Pankajangri Prabhu was thinking, where did the Shaligram go? I mean, how much can the Shaligram roll to the extent it's not to be seen anywhere? And a devotee will not steal Shaligram. Pujaris, Brahman initiated will not steal Shaligram from the altar. Where did the Shaligram go? And he started searching everywhere and he couldn't find Shaligram anywhere. So Pankajangri Prabhu sat down and thought, where can Shaligram go? And it was summertime, very hot outside. So Pankajangri Prabhu thought, these shaligrams are used to cold climate. Kaligandaki river in Nepal. They're used to cold climate and now it's very hot. Shaligram is not to be seen anywhere. Where will the shaligram go? He decided to go to kitchen and he opened the fridge. He didn't find it in the fridge. He opened the freezer. He didn't find it in the freezer. He was just trying everything. Where can shaligram go? In the freezer of ISKCON Mayapur temple, they had made mango ice cream. He opened that, Shaligram was sitting inside that. Shaligram was sitting inside a mango ice cream box in the freezer of the main kitchen of ISKCON Mayapur. And when Pankajangri Prabhu saw that, in his memories, he was saying, it's not surprising. The Lord reciprocates. And he is used to cold climate. He doesn't like hot climate. He is used to cold climate. If he can run with a wheel in Mahabharat, can he not walk from the altar and go to mango ice cream? And it was told by Pankajangri Prabhu. So it's very authentic, right? It's not a made story. It's by someone who is very glorious in our movement. So Krishna reciprocates. So the point is, we follow these vrats with this desire that, my dear Lord, I want you. Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripaya asit swabandhane. When we put in efforts, Drishtva, Krishna sees the parishram. Drishtva parishramam Krishna. Krishna sees the parishram. And kripaya asit swabandhane. The Supreme Lord is bound by the love of the devotee. So having said this, before we stop, we spoke about the power of hearing Krishna Katha. We spoke about how mischievous Krishna is in Vrindavan. We spoke about the 3 names of this month and how these names are derived. We spoke about the words that we can memorize for this month. We spoke about the importance of doing vrat, not just as a matter of formality, but from the heart. And finally, there are few points that the acharyas give in the Shastra as to what are the things that we can do in this month. So I will share that. If you feel inspired, you can write it down, and then we will end our conversation. So here are some do's and don'ts. First, to wake up in Brahma Muhurta and chant Harinam. And we spoke about the importance of why Brahma Muhurta, why one should get up. That's the first one, to wake up in Brahma Muhurta and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra Harinam. Second, offering Mangalarati to our deities. All of us would have deities. If there are no deities, at least photographs. And it doesn't have to be very, very elaborate. Sripad Mukundatta Prabhu was saying, for home deities, it doesn't have to be very elaborate. It can be quick. In 20 minutes, you can finish. Samsara dava nalalida loka pranaya karunya gana ganatvam praptasya kalyana gunana vasya vrande guru shri charana ravindam. Can be quick. Doesn't have to be like samsara dava nalalida loka. Itana slow, ne? It can be like quick because every day is working day, etc. So we can do it quick. That was the second. Third, offering sweets to deities. So these sweets can, if possible, they can be prepared before the start of Kartik month, so that every day from that itself we can offer one sweet. So we can do the preparation before itself, and every day we can offer. If that's not possible, if every day making a sweet is possible, we can. It's a little difficult. If that's not possible, we can see, based on our schedule, the Lord likes sweets. He likes sweets and he likes sweet devotees. So if we can offer sweets, if every day is not possible, maybe alternate day. If alternate day is not possible, once in 3 days. If that's not possible, maybe even once a week. Offering one sweet. The Lord likes sweets. Devotees also like sweets. Lord also likes sweets. That was the third. Fourth, for those who are Brahman initiated, chanting our Gayatris 3 times a day. So 3 times 30 makes it 90 sittings. That's the fourth. Fifth, increasing our japa, chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Because in this age of Kali, no devotional activity supersedes the chanting of Hare Krishna, Srila Jiva Goswami says. So at least in this month, other months we may be chanting 16. Prabhupada said minimum 16. But at least in this month, if possible, we try to increase. Even if it is just one round extra, it's fine. But showing the Lord that, my dear Lord, I am trying my best. I have project deadlines, I have this, I have that. But I am trying, my dear Lord. Please accept. So that was the fifth one, increasing japa. And increase it only if you can do it all 30 days. Not like the gym. Not that we start first 3-4 days nicely going uphill and then coming down. So if we can continue, increase it to a number that we can continue. That was 5. Sixth, doing stava stuti, daily kirtan and Vaishnava bhajans. Can be Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite, Nandan Nandashtakam, Radhikashtakam, Radha Kripa Kataksham, Vrinda Devi Ashtakam, Vrindavan Ashtakam, Govardhan Ashtakam, Govardhan Vas Pratana Dashakam. So many like that. It can be Vaishnava songs, Gauranga Bolite Habe, Radha Krishna Pranamor, Gauranga Karuna Koro. So many Vaishnava bhajans. So you pick whatever inspires your heart. And it can be different bhajans every day also. And the good thing is inside the house, nothing is being recorded. So if there is sur, tal, no sur, nor tal, we are the Shankar Mahadevan inside the house. No one is there to see. So we can aram sing. Mridanga is there, Kartala is there. Just sing it for the Lord. If the South Indian Brahmana who could not read anything, Mahaprabhu accepts him, why will he not accept our thing? So this singing is important. Sur, tal, raga is secondary. If that can be done, it's uttam. It's wonderful. But if not, we at least whatever we can try. Like in Vrindavan, in Krishna Balram Mandir, every day in the evening they sing Gopi Geet. Every single day. So Gopi Geet is something that we can add. And we will discuss on the night of Sharad Purnima. Satyasara Prabhu asked me to speak about Sharad Purnima. So we will speak about Gopi Geet there. So if that we can chant every day is wonderful. Because in Vrindavan they do every single day. That was number 6. 7, Tulasi Seva, worshipping Tulasi Devi. Prabhu kahe Vaishnav Seva Naam Sankirtan, Dui karo Shikhra Pabe Krishnera Charan. Haridas Thakur, when he meets the prostitute, Nirantara Naam Lo Kara Tulasi Sevan, Achirata Pabe Tumi Krishnera Charan. He tells the prostitute Mataji, Nirantara Naam Lo, constantly chant Kara Tulasi Sevan and worship Tulasi. Achirata Pabe Tumi Krishnera Charan. You will get lotus feet of Krishna. Achirata, very fast. So Tulasi Sevan. Tulasi is called Krishna Jivani. She is the life of Krishna. We want Krishna and she is the life of Krishna. So we have to approach her. Just like in ISKCON, when you need Diksha, you need recommendation letter. Local councillor, local temple authority, management, temple president, you need all recommendation letters. Then you get Diksha. Similar in the spiritual world, one recommendation letter that everyone needs is Vrinda Devi. She has to give recommendation. So Tulasi Sevan will be number 7. 8 would be singing ashtakams or songs honoring the festivals on that day. Like for example, if it's Govardhan, lifting of Giriraj, Govardhan Puja. So then we can sing ashtakams and songs that glorify Govardhan or Krishna lifting Govardhan. If it is Bahulashtami, then we can sing Radha Kundashtakam and things like that. So based on the festival, singing songs. 9, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam every single day. Every single day. Just like we will eat every single day of Kārtika. Some may eat 3 times, some may eat 2 times, some may eat probably eat once. But just like we all eat, and just like we do all our different chores, similarly, hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam should be there every single day. Even if it is just 15 minutes, fine. If we don't have time for 1 hour, it is okay. 15 minutes, fine, let's do it. Let's start from there. So hearing of Bhagavatam. It can be Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, any of those scriptures. Reading, hearing, whichever aligns to your taste. Some may prefer to read, some may prefer to hear classes. Whatever works best for you, you pick. Krishna Katha should go inside. That's the fundamental point. 9 are done. 10th, charity to sadhus. In the month of Kartik, in fact, in any month it is glorious, but in month of Kartik, it is way more glorious when we see sadhus to give in charity. 11, very important. Little scary also. You want to hear? Huh? It is a big austerity. 11th one. Reducing social media. This is the toughest of all 10. Huh? You can, it comes in do's, don'ts, everything to reduce social media as much as possible. Whatever is required, that of course we have to. But wherever we can kind of cut down, we try to do that. The Hari Bhakti Vilas explains when we offer ghee lamps with dried tulsi stick, one gets, it's a big calculation, Shripad Ayendra Prabhu would say, and he gives the calculation also. If someone offers ghee lamp with dried tulsi wick in Vrindavan Dham, he says that also. In Vrindavan Dham, ghee lamp to dried tulsi wick, one gets 160 billion times the benefit of what he will obtain of just offering ghee lamp. So if someone offers just a ghee lamp, in comparison to that, someone offers in Vrindavan with a dried tulsi stick, one gets 160 billion times more benefit. Hari Bhakti Vilas explains. So of course now we are physically not in Vrindavan, but wherever Radha Krishna are there, that is also Vrindavan. Wherever Vaishnavas are there, that is also Vrindavan. Says Thane Vaishnavajan, says Thane Vrindavan. Wherever Vaishnavas are there, that is also Sri Vrindavan Dham, not different. So offering ghee lamps with dried tulsi stick. And finally, if we have Braj Raj or Ganga water or Jamuna water, Radha Kund water, Sham Kund water, honoring and accepting them every single day. Braj Raj on our head, Braj Raj in our bhoga prasad. If you have Radha Kund water, Sham Kund water, Ganga, Jamuna, etc., honoring it every single day. These are the things that can be done while being outside of Vrindavan Dham. And there are many more things, but I feel these are some things that can be followed. We don't have to follow all 13. If we can follow all 13, great. But whatever is possible from a standpoint of health also, from the standpoint of family also, we have to see that. Whatever works best for your family, let's do that. With this desire that, my dear Lord, I am doing this not just as a matter of doing it, but Kripaya Asit Swabandhane. I'm doing it so that just like Mother Yashoda tied you, I also want to tie you in my heart one day. Having said this, I very humbly want to stop here. Thank you so much for being here on our inaugural day of this series of classes in the month of Shri Kartik. Thank you very much. And I hope to meet all of you all tomorrow to discuss the glories of Srimati Radharani in nice depth from the commentaries of different acharyas. And believe me, you will like it. So make sure we are all there. And 7 o'clock, not IST, CST, sharp 7 o'clock. I will also try to be here on time so that we can wrap up on time so that the next working day also can be productive. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.